Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. This is my Ruger 2245. It's Mark II. They've got a Mark III and a Mark IV. I'm really going to try to keep everything in frame this time. Right there, I've got the camera focused on that X, the fold in the towel. So if I keep everything right close to there, this should work out. I've got my owner's manual out, so I'm going to call the parts by their correct names. Hopefully. Anyway, what this video is about is reassembly of the Mark II 2245. I think this is probably also for the Mark III. And only the hard part. Everybody knows how to get the barrel onto a receiver, pretty much. If you don't, look it up on one of the other videos. Well, most of the videos don't show you how to fix it so that you can put it back together easier. So my video is going to show you how to put it back together and how to make it go back together easier. So the problem, one of the problems, the first problem I guess, is right here. This, looking up the name, recoil spring assembly. This is the recoil spring assembly. It's got a little U shape here. Don't worry about the other end. It fits in the bolt. This little part here that it's hammered together, it's compressed together to hold the U shape onto the shaft that's inside the spring. This gets buggered up. It gets buggered up because this part, and let me look it up, this is the bolt stop pin, and this is probably called the mainspring, I believe. That's the mainspring. Some people just call this whole thing bolt stop pin assembly. But anyway, this has to go through the receiver, the barrel, and the bolt, and it has to end up popping out the top there. What happens is you start going up there and the bolt stop pin hits on this. This is spring loaded, and because of the design, it's shoving the bolt stop pin up against the barrel edges, which are very sharp barrel edges. They're machined. You know, it goes through the bottom one, not too bad. The top one, it gets hung up. So, a lot of people end up forcing it. I ended up forcing it, and this got all buggered up, and this got all buggered up. So instead of forcing it, the last time I went to put it together, I thought about it. You know, engage the brain before you force something. And I could see that this was the issue here. So I thought to myself, well, what can I do to fix that? I got to get this U shape away from the pin. So the first thing I did was I took this out, and I will take it out. Let's see. It's captured on both ends, but the spring is under some tension. It moves the bolt. So what I did is I took this and I looked at these two pieces of the U, and they had a little slight curvature to them. And I thought, well, they're probably not supposed to be curved, probably because the bolt has cycled, you know, a couple thousand times or whatever. Eventually they got hammered and bent a little bit. So I took a punch and a small hammer. I'm not going to demonstrate it to you, but I'll just show you. I put it down on my vise and I hammered on this a little bit with a punch, not with a screwdriver, but with a punch to flatten it out. So I flattened it out, and what that did was it got it a little bit away, because now it's flat instead of curved. It got it back maybe a millimeter away from hitting the bolt stop pin. So that's number one. Number two, because this was all buggered up, I took my Dremel. Yeah, I took some sandpaper with about 1200 sandpaper, and I sanded that smooth. Then I took my Dremel, and I'll just show you that quick. I'm not going to run it. I took the Dremel and I put a polishing wheel on it, and I used some polishing paste or compound, and then I polished this area here, and I polished this area here. So that's step number two. Okay, so I think we're making some progress. Let me hang this back up. So the next thing I did was, let me get some grease to show you. Excuse me a second. Off camera here. Oops. This is some gun grease. All weather high-tech grease, yada yada. Anyway, it's a very sticky, thick grease. It doesn't run off very easily. So I wanted some grease on here and on here for when I put it back together, so it would slide through okay. So that's putting the bolt stop pin in. Let me just see if I can actually do that for you now. Let's see how this comes out. I know it works, but you know, when I'm on camera, all of a sudden things don't work. You know what I mean? Anyway, there's the grease. I'm actually going to put a little bit on the sides too. Anywhere this feels rough means it's been rubbing up against something. The barrel, all those machined parts of the barrel. Just put a little dab there. There. All right. So we put this back in. That's a little bit of a tight fit. Actually, moving the spring doesn't help anything, does it? Because it's a fixed length here. There. All right, make sure that's nice and evened up, okay? This grease is probably a little bit too heavy to lube the bolt with, so I'm not going to do that. And actually, I've already lubed the bolt. Hold on. I'm just going to put one little bit more on there, since this might be the final time that I put it back together, just shooting this video. So I've done a lot of other stuff, but this is not about full disassembly or full cleaning or anything like that. Remember, this is just the two hard parts. So I got all that in there. I got some grease on there, grease on there. Let's see how this goes. Get that out of the way. Now, part two. You've got to have the trigger in the right position. And I'm going to try and show you this, and I'm going to back up so bear with me. Not the trigger, sorry. Take that back. It's the hammer and the hammer strut. Now I'm going to try and show you this. There. That shiny silver thing with the rectangular cutout, that's the hammer. And then the hammer strut is that little tail dangling down from the hammer. See it? Hammer there, hammer strut there. I hope this is in decent focus. So if you can see the hammer up, that bolt's not going through there at all. So you have to have the hammer down, not down, have the hammer in the backward position. So if you just tip the gun up and shake it like that, it goes back. You pull the trigger, it goes back. Now there is something about putting the hold on, the magazine, putting the magazine in, that lets you pull the trigger. I didn't have to just do that now, so I'm not gonna cover that. Sorry, got out of frame. So now you can see it's a clean shot through there, right? Let me try and focus that better. There. See, I can put the bolt through there. So I'm going to put the bolt through. Nice as easy. Now, don't worry about the strut yet. What you want to do is, let's see, let's try getting the bolt stop pin up in there. Let me just make sure I'm giving you the right information. I'm going to put the hammer down. Yeah. All right, let me show you that. I just took a little dental pick. There. See, the hammer is forward, or you call it down or forward, and the tail is still dangling there, the tail. All right, that's where we are now. Now we're going to put the bolt stop pin through there. And we'll see how this goes. Yeah. All right, now. Oh, sweet baby. See how that popped right up there? Why? Because I polished those areas that I explained to you that were getting hung up. So now, here's the problem. The tail is in the wrong position now. When you close this mainspring, you got to have a little bit of tension here. See, there's no tension there? That's because the tail is in the wrong position. So now what you do is open that up. We're going to take the tail and I'll show you, give you a close-up. Sorry. There. Whoop, whoop, there it is. See how the tail is down, laying against that pin that runs across? I don't know the right name for that pin, so give me a break. Anyway, the tail is down there, laying against that pin. We got to lift that tail up off the pin. So I'll show you one way to do it. You can reach in with your dental pick and lift it up, but you have to hold the gun like that, otherwise it's going to fall back down. So let me show you a way to do this. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it did. So now I can't show you this because if I turn the gun, it's going to fall down again. But I lifted, just by gravity, I lifted it up. So now it's going to go into the right place and engage the mainspring in the right place. Watch. Oops. It fell down. So I'm going to put my dental pin in there. Dental pick, sorry. Lifting it up. There. Okay. You have to keep this gun like upside down, the pistol like upside down. Now, you see, it's got that little bit of spring to it. I have to press down with my finger. Before it just fell right down. So now that mainspring is in the right position. So I can close this, and here's the proof. Bolt moves. Obviously always checking for unloaded. Bolt moves. Let's put the safety on. Oh, let's fire it. Gun fires, the hammer works. Cock it again. Let's put the safety up. Won't go off. See, that's safety up. Won't go off. Safety down. Goes off. So we're good. I hope this helps you out, and this is not to take anything away from any of the other good videos that are out there, but I just thought like a little bit more detail was necessary. So there's your detail. I showed you how to fix the problem so you can get the darn bolt stop pin up in there easier than you've been fighting it, because those pieces are buggered up. And I showed you the hammer tail to get it in the right position. Okay, give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Mostly I do automotive stuff, but lately me and one of my buddies have got back to shooting, so I might be doing a few more shooting videos. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. It's a beautiful weekend here in Southern California, and that's it. Subscribe if you want more. See ya. Bye-bye.